New mic, new movie, new gory kills. Let's see what happens with this one.
Whoa!
So, as you all know, Terrifier came out on Thursday evening, and it's something that I've been a fan of for a very long time. And as far as very long goes, it's since the first one when it was just an underground thing that was made for a very low budget. Now we finally have a theatrical release. I was super excited to see it. I know the buzz is just all around the beehive. So I'm not going to give spoilers or anything like that. Not that there can't be much spoilers. It's bloody, but you know what you're coming for, and you know what you're getting into whenever you watch these movies. So we know that Art the Clown is back. We know that he's got his little minion who gave birth to his decapitated head. I'm going to leave it at there for now because we are going to do an in-depth conversation with two of my cohorts, Hoodie D and Lady Magda. So I'm not going to spoil too much, but what I will say is that this is a tribute to grindhouse films, to old school horror. There are some homages to Hitchcock. There's a lot of stuff that are homages to 80s slasher flicks. There's also just stuff that just wants to celebrate makeup, prosthetics, and actual blood on screen, which is what we all kind of like come there for anyway. We come there for the gory kills. And now that the story is actually developed, we get to see a little bit more because Sienna is back. And we get to find out a little bit more about her dad, a little bit more about where those powers have come from, and we also get to see what happens and why Art is immortal. If you're squeamish, avoid eating dinner while you're watching it. Don't go to one of those theaters where you can order dinner, drinks, lay back in recliners, and watch this kind of stuff because it does not shy away from it. What I will say that technically, it's basic. It's very basic technically. It's focusing on the entertainment value. It's not focusing on artistic value. If that makes any sense to you, once you see the movie, I think you'll realize where I'm coming from with that. Not that it took away from my entertainment at all, but from a technical standpoint, I would have to rate this like a 2 or 3 out of 10. However, I was entertained. I was cheesing the entire time, and every time there's a kill or something sadistic happens, I just had this giant smile on my face. By the end of the movie, I just realized that why do my cheeks hurt? Oh, because I've been grinning. A couple of laugh out loud moments as well. But there is one thing, there is one qualm that I have with it, and that we saw this in Terrifier 2. I don't think he learned from his pacing issues because while it did build up a whole lot more story in this one, and it did feel like it moved a little bit quicker, it still went on for a little bit too long. There are some parts you can trim, some parts you can cut out, some parts that are completely inconsequential, and a couple of parts that don't make sense. Now, I understand that Cena's going through a lot. This happens 5 years after the events of Terrifier 2. We see a little bit of prequel build up to that, but you know, it was still good overall. I mean, it was still an enjoyable ride. You will need to take a pee break in the middle of it because it just runs on a little too long. You know, a gore fest slasher flick like this shouldn't be 2 hours long. It should be a tight hour 28 minutes, hour 35 if you're pushing it. But he does like to linger on his shots, and there is some mood that is injected into that. So he's still learning. He's still learning and finally getting, since it's number one movie in America for now on its opening weekend. We'll see how well it holds. But the things that they're showing in theaters, I would have expected this movie to be rated X, and that's usually why they release them independently. It's because you can get away with showing a whole lot more without having to go through the MPAA. But it is extremely graphic. Don't take your kids. Very little language. It's all extreme gore effects, and those are done masterfully well. So if you've seen it, we will, like I said, we will do more in-depth review. We'll actually talk about it with two other panelists tomorrow evening. But just for right now, just want to get the feelers out for you. That sounds really creepy. So is Art the Clown. What did y'all think if you have seen it? Do you have any interest in seeing it? Or is the campy stuff kind of a little bit too above brow for you? That's what I want to know. Until next time, this is Malty Maldi, and I will catch y'all in the future. Take care. If you're squeamish, I recommend eating this with dinner because as Americans, you're probably too fat anyway, so you might want to lose a few pounds. It's okay if you vomit them up on the sidewalk.